Castbender Podcast is proudly partnered with Avatar, the Legend of Korra Online.com and ComicRelated.com. Hello everybody, welcome to Castbender Podcast, your number one Last Airbender and Korra podcast for the week of February 4th, 2014. You're here with your co-host, AJ Lewis.
Deuces.
Oh god. And Teagan Chevrier.
Hi.
And myself, Tyrell Lisson. So we're back with another episode of Castbender like usual. Last week we talked about whether or not Korra is a fully realized avatar, amongst other things. That was episode 60. Go and check that out on iTunes, YouTube, stream anything you want. It actually did considerably well. The stats were actually kind of, I don't know, pretty good for just a regular episode. It was an interview.
One could say they were off the chain.
Yeah. We're in the process of booking and trying to get more people attached to do Castbender and have more co-hosts like we promised when we relaunched the show. That is in the works. I can't confirm anybody, and I can't even confirm who we're talking to because that wouldn't be cool. So we're...
Well, it might be cool. We don't know if it's cool or not.
Yeah,
we're not going to do it because we like to keep secrets.
So I sent out an email last night, and then I sent out, we'll be sending out another email this afternoon, and so we're going to do that. So we actually have quite a bit of news this week. AJ, you want to do your first piece of news?
Yes, so even though the Rift Book 1, which is the new Avatar comic, centered around Aang and the crew, hasn't come out yet, we already have a release date for the second part of the graphic novel.
Which is?
July 29th, 2014.
How many days away is that?
There is 146 days between the release of the first comic and the release of the second comic. And there is only 1 month and 1 day away from when we get the Rift Part 1, which is March 5th.
Yeah, and we'll be talking about that on the show. And that will be great. So that's that piece of news, AJ and myself. We've read a lot of the comics and graphic novels. We're looking forward to that.
They're very good.
So this will be Teagan's first time talking about the comics and stuff. So, yeah, the graphic novels will be interesting. So we have two other pieces of news this week. A lot more images released. The interesting part about this is we're getting more images this offseason than the entirety of last offseason.
Well, I think they're more ahead of schedule with this one than the last one.
Yeah.
Like we had, right from the end of Book 2, we had, or maybe even during Book 2, we had that really rough sketch of Asami.
Yeah.
And then we just continued to get more and more finished, color-corrected images.
Yeah. Okay, so we didn't talk about the Asami images last week, right? Or did we?
No.
Okay.
We got the... we talked about the training one.
Okay, yeah. So we're
then the new one with like the eyebrow thing came out.
Okay, yeah. So on the 30th of January, Brian again posted on Tumblr 2 new images. The first shows Asami looking a little bit confused, and the second one looks more like of a menacing type picture. You can go to Avatar, the Legend of Korra Online.com and check out that post. It's called 2 Images of Asami from Legend of Korra Book 3 released. And the second image, shows Asami with a sinister grin. Maybe that she's up to no good, but enjoying whatever at the same time. So both of these pictures actually look very nicely animated. Asami...
Well, they always do.
Yeah. Well, now that Studio Mir is taking over all animation over... somebody had a question, AJ. I don't know if you know this.
I know the answer.
Do you know that? Okay, did Studio Mir? That's how you say it? M-I-R Mir is Mir?
Probably.
Mir? They animated all of Book 1, right? And Parrot or whatever animated portions of book 2. I know that.
It may have been that one did book 1, did half of book 2, had a falling out with Nick, and then Mir picked up the rest.
Okay, because Parrot is the one that, or Parrot or whatever. Sorry, I don't know the names very well. They're Japanese or Korean or something. They're like but that everybody hates their animation. They're the ones that really everybody hates because they're the ones that did a majority of the first half of season 2. I think Mir did all of the first and some of the second, and they're doing the third. So these are very nice images. I don't know. There's been some speculation. We'll go directly to the comments and discuss. Quack, yeah, says, for some reason the second picture with the sinister grin reminds me of Azula. It would be interesting if Asami turned into an Azula type character. Azula
She doesn't have the balls.
Yeah, Azula is one of the best characters, if not, like, well, I wouldn't say the best, but one of the best.
I have Studio Mir did season 1 and half of season 2.
Yeah, they did the second half of season 2. Okay. Razor Star 90 said, if Asami wants to gain her self-respect back after her disastrous turn in book 2, she's going to have to call Mako out on his bullshit. He's going to have to bull him on blast, and I hope the second look at her is laying the smack down on Mako's head. So, what do you think? I see a lot of comments going around, and we've talked about Asami a couple episodes. People are throwing around words like she's a slut, all this stuff.
Oh.
Yeah. No, wrong, false.
Okay, Teagan.
You're all wrong.
Whoa. Alienating the audience.
Yeah. No, because Korra, kisses boys or whatever just as much as Asami.
Korra has only kissed one boy.
Yeah, hasn't Asami only kissed one boy?
That
Korra went on 2 dates, though, with 2 different boys. She was bouncing around.
That was not a date. That was a hanging session with friends. She said that specifically.
So, I don't understand why they hate her when Korra's just as bad. I'm trying to say that neither of them are sluts.
You're wrong. Asami's a slut.
No.
Okay, let's not throw that word
around. She's a woman who is tossed around between men, otherwise known as a slut.
So is Korra.
I think Korra is just as bad as Asami. Asami did kiss Mako when he was in a delicate place, air quotes, because you can't see this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think that Asami is by any means...
I don't think she's any worse than Korra, so if you're calling her a slut, you should do the same with Korra. But I don't think either of them are.
I don't think either of them are slutosaurus
yeah,
rexes.
I don't think so
I don't
either.
think that Asami is a slut, but I do think she kind of... She wants it more. Like, she searches out these opportunities.
She's a thirsty one?
Stop!
She has a thirst for the man.
Oh, God.
The man of Mako.
Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of hate is directed to Asami, and I've hated on Asami before, but lately I've been taking the narrative, especially on the forums, as if we're going to start judging characters, then we're going to have to judge them all, because they're all in the same boat. You can't say Asami's like any worse than Korra in any regard, development, character-wise, and you really, I think... I'm giving my last final straw before I actually start tearing these characters apart and not being able to redeem themselves is book 3. Mm-hmm. Whatever happens in book 3, it's the third book. Everything should be determined in terms of major character development for the final season, which will be the climax. And if it's not, then I don't have any hope for a lot of the characters after that. So I'm trying to give Asami some room here to do some stuff. And same with Korra, Mako, Bolin, etc.
Etc.
Jay Davis said, I think she was told of time benders. She was scheming to get her mother back. Never know, right? And those eyes. Those green deep eyes. What do you feel about that comment?
Okay, first, I want to wipe out the conspiracy around time benders.
Time benders, eh? Interesting.
Well, it's interesting, but it's never going to happen.
No,
because... We've been shown the 4 elements as well as energy bending, which is kind of just like a light bending, kind of soul bending, whatever, spirit bending.
Mm-hmm.
Time, it's nothing to do with time in this show. If you want time travel, go to Doctor Who.
Or a multitude of other time travel related things.
Yeah, there's such a plethora of
time travel
things.
Like, we're reading Diana Gabaldon's Outlander series right now on audiobook, and there's time travel in that. That's a big series. There's time travel in one Harry Potter book. There's time travel and like a bunch of different stuff. So I don't think that time travel needs to be introduced in here. But Jay Davis,
there's no
that's
way
interesting.
To introduce time travel.
Yeah, not in Korra.
The second bit of that comment.
Okay.
Is those
okay,
green eyes.
We might not want to go into that.
Those green Asami eyes.
Josh, who's been known to comment a lot, I usually like Josh. If you're listening, your opinions are usually good. Got in a fight the other week with, I think it was Ariana. It was interesting. There. It was funny. Go Josh. Okay, Aang says Asami clearly has no self-respect because she tries to go back to people who have walked all over her and treat her like a bitch. Josh, that's simple to understand, man. So, okay, no self-respect. We kind of just touched on this before. I don't know. We're not going to get involved in that comment.
I just want to say that she hasn't gone back all the way. Like, her and Mako kind of never really broke up. Mako has been in this kind of like weird limbo between these two girls, and when it finally ended, like solid ended with Korra, I think it was more Mako's fault with the Asami thing.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, he doesn't get any shade.
Oh no, Mako gets shade.
Because I've only heard of the two.
No, especially if you're going on the forum here, there's a huge 30-page brawl amongst people trying to back up Mako, or if Mako's a terrible, you can't reason with a lot of these people, and that's a problem with debating a lot of these characters, because if you hate a character,
you really hate a character.
For some reason, it's just like a ironclad, disgusting, deceitful person that they are. So Asami is ripped apart, but I think Mako is way more ripped apart, especially from the women of but there are a considerable amount of guys on the forum that feel the exact same way. And
another thing about Asami is she's never gone back to her father. Like, we've seen even Zuko back in Avatar: The Last Airbender. He falls back on his father multiple times throughout the comic series, and whatever.
Yeah.
But she hasn't, for all we know, she hasn't even gone and seen her father.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yeah. So, Anonymous says, incredible. As I read all these debates on this article and on the forum that are based on banality, I just can't help but realize how poor, bland, and stupid this series is. In Avatar, I remembered to debate much stuff, but here a lot people are only focused on stupid things like, is Korra a real jerk? Shipping issues? Seriously, that's all this show is about. Stupid shipping and stupid drama. What happened to Avatar? Korra, the show, is simply hindering it so badly. And then people go on to talk about the forum about, is Korra a real jerk? A lot of people have left the forum recently because, and we can talk about this. A lot of I think there are some points. I don't think it's as far as to go that it's the worst show, because a lot of it's based off of relationship and that type of stuff, but it's by far not as layered and deeply and colorfully written and made like Avatar was. But again, you kind of just have to take that and try to work with it. The forum has experienced a lot of these kind of you're on one side and you don't reason because you just don't want to hear another person's opinion. You're either on one side or the other, and that's slightly that's hindering the forum, and a lot of people have been removed from the forum because of it. And we're really trying to introduce a spot where you can talk about Korra and try to change your opinion and back it up without personally attacking each other. And we've kind of removed those people from the forum, and that sparked some debate amongst people. But I think there is some merit to this, that this series can be a bit bland at times and one-dimensional, and there is merit to this whole Korra is a jerk is a dumb thing. It's not needed. So let's see what other comments we have. Oh, there's a big debate on that one. Asami will whoop that ass says, I don't think Asami is soft at all. Too many people think girls have to be like Korra or tough or Azula to be tough. Katara was tough, but you don't always see her acting like a man or a tomboy to be tough. Mm-hmm. That's why girls, from what I understood, loved Katara so much. She was strong and capable and maintained her femininity all at the same time. I see girls give stereotype boys traits to portray them as a tough or capable or a badass at all times. The only redeeming quality I like about Asami was that she's girly, yet she's skilled fighter. She's a skilled fighter without having to act like a man or tomboy. She never comes off as soft to me, especially in the heat of the conflict. There's nothing soft about taking out 12 Equalists in seconds without breaking as much as a sweat. There's nothing soft about staying up to your deranged father for trying to annihilate your boyfriend and bring in the Bender genocide. There's nothing soft about crying when your heart is broken or your loved one is in jail. To be completely honest, Korra, even though I like her more, is showing herself to be way softer than Asami despite her tomboyish disposition. So she just went on, but it's kind of, she reiterates.
Now we understand the point.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Teagan, what do you feel about this?
I agree. Like, I was thinking it's like, say Asami is ballet and Korra is hockey. Obviously, they're both things. Right. Whereas ballet is very feminine, one could say. But at the same time, I've seen more blood and more tough people in dance than hockey. Yep. Does that mean one's better than the other? I don't think so. I think they're just, I think that they're just, I don't know, different. I think Asami is feminine, but does that mean that she's not, strong? I don't think so.
Okay, AJ, do you have a point on this?
Yes. Just going back to what, I don't know who wrote the comment, but...
Asami whooped that ass? That one?
No, not that one. I was going more along the lines of Katara being, like, a badass.
Yeah.
And I think that's, like, not a trademark, but a hallmark of what feminism should be. Like, you can be a woman, like a true-blooded woman with femininity and, whatever.
Yeah.
But still be a badass without having all those male traits associated with you. And I do agree that's why she was such a great character and why some of the other characters are falling out now.
I think it comes back to this, and we've talked about it in a lot of our media classes at university. You have this general problem right now where you want to. A lot of people are outcrying for more women to be involved in a lot of things, but it's kind of half being done because though there are women, they're trying to portray them as the only way that they can be good characters is by showing male traits rather than actually being women. We talk about it a lot in film and things like that. And I think that's case in point with Korra, because Korra is like a tomboy. So though she is a girl, they're trying to play up the manly characteristics or the masculinity of Korra to make her seem like a better character than someone like Asami. And I think Asami's character can go really far if they play off that femininity of her being liking a lot of things that traditionally girls like, but at the same time doing a lot of other stuff too. And I think it's not even, at the end of the day, it shouldn't be an argument over which characteristics, either is that a manly characteristic or a feminine characteristic. I think ultimately it should just be like, what is this character doing and is it good and bad? So that was an interesting comment. Now let's go to the Bolin image.
Yes, we've gone all around, and what's our final verdict on the Asami picture?
I think they're fine.
We've had
this
in-depth discussion. A couple words on the picture. Yeah.
The pictures are okay. They're colored well. At least you can see the characters and they're not sketches. I think it's good. Keep them coming.
Yeah. Do you think this one is related to the other picture?
No, I don't think so. The background kind of looks a little bit different. I think it's a completely separate scene. But it could be. I don't know.
Do we think we're going to see all these pictures that have been released in the first episode of Season 3?
No.
All right.
No, I don't think so. 10.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay, images of Bolin, if this would load, but it won't load.
Well, essentially it's Bolin standing over a sink, drinking some water.
Now, this is a theory that somebody brought up. I think it was James on the forum. And this is...
It's just the spirit water one?
Yeah, it's a little bit weird, but I could see it happening, and he tried to justify it, and it's plausible, so we're going to talk about it. So essentially, James tried to say that Bolin is at a tap, and it looks like he's, you know when you're like upset or you've hit the end of the road, and you go and splash your face in your bathroom, looking at yourself in the mirror to figure out who you really are.
And then you find yourself and win the trophy.
Yeah. The water is very dark. It almost looks like a spirit water, in James's opinion, and it could be plausible because they could be in Republic City, and the fact that, because spirits have kind of overrun a large portion of it, spirit water is very prominent right now. And Brian made a comment about Pabu looking like a vampire or something, which was a little bit weird. I don't know. Pabu's sitting there on the edge of the image as well, but this, I don't know. AJ, how do you feel about the spirit water?
I don't know. It's interesting, I guess, but I don't find it overly intriguing.
No.
If it's spirit water, that's probably just an Easter egg. It's probably not going to be anything
important.
Yeah. I would probably say more along the lines of this being like Bolin's having a tough time right now.
Yeah.
Instead of speculating about the water, let's speculate about what's going on with Bolin. Is he having some character development? He said hopefully.
Yeah. Bolin needs to develop a little bit, like we've talked about. But yeah, the water is dark. I made the argument that it's just not completely color corrected yet. Like it hasn't gone through its final stages.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, and it.
Or the contrast on the TV.
Yeah, exactly.
Pabu looks a little bit dark.
Yeah.
Pabu looks, the oranges and the kind of like maroons.
What's happened is it could be a picture of them color correcting, and it's just...
Well, because the picture that's on here, it looks like it was taken on a smartphone from a TV screen. So the contrast settings and the exposure on the TV could be off, or darker than usual, or there's a filter on the phone. It doesn't necessarily look like a filter, but I don't think the colors are completely accurate yet. And
if we look back to what we had with the last season of Korra and the released images, they all seemed fairly dark as well.
Yeah.
So.
Comments, Squirtle, the waterbender. I think he had a scary vision and is washing his face to forget it, and I think the scary thing will happen again in the mirror. The sink looks too modern for Avatar 2.
I think they're in Republic City, and I think when the picture of Bolin like waking up screaming, that's probably a very good thing. Like he's seen something.
Yeah, he's getting images or something like that.
And then he goes and like washes his face, and maybe he's having a dream about Eska.
Mm-hmm. Quack says, Quack, we answered, well, we talked about Quack's question on the last. Quack's
is it Quack?
I think it's Quack.
Quac.
Quack.
Quack.
We're calling you Quack, okay? He says, or she says, we know that book 3 is all about earthbending and benders, so I can't wait for the story of both major earthbenders, that being Lin and Bolin. I also never noticed both their names have Lin. Something to do with Earth, maybe, to develop. They both haven't been in a hugely interesting storyline, so I'm really looking forward to them being involved in something big. Also, looking forward to the Earth Queen. Can't wait to see what she looks like and what her role will be, or something like that. Yeah, that'll be interesting. I hope we see more Bolin development. And the pictures we're getting could maybe indicate that we're going to see more Bolin screen time, so...
Well, we had a whole bunch of Bolin screen time in the last season, too.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't pan out as well as we had hoped.
Lock Lover, who is cool. I found out it's a girl because we followed her on Twitter. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was interesting. She says, "Gosh, I can't contain my happiness. All these new book 3 picks give me goosebumps in a good way. I'm hoping for an April, May, or maybe even March release, which is next month. Sounds crazy, right? Even the April, May release is only 2 to 3 months away. This is crazy, guys." And just like someone else said, reading all these comments really even get me more excited.
Okay. I'm going to go out on a limb and say September.
Okay. You haven't placed your bet yet.
My bet.
Yeah. We can do a bet. Let's do a bet right now.
Oh, gosh.
Either this first or second week of September.
Okay, Teagan. No, what time slot and what day?
Same as we're currently at.
Fridays nights? Is that it? Or Saturday mornings?
Friday nights at
8.
7.
Okay.
8, whatever.
Eastern Standard Time. Teagan?
I don't know. July Saturday morning. I don't know.
July Saturday.
July's on a Saturday.
What's wrong with that? I don't watch TV.
Okay, it doesn't matter. That's your bet.
Firstly, I'm just going to rip you apart here. It's very stupid to start a series in the summer, especially a kid series, because
kids are out of school.
Yes, and
time to watch TV.
Typically, don't watch TV in the summer.
Well then.
Okay, I say. What is it? February, April. I say April. The second week of April, Friday nights at 8, double episode premiere. April might
fairly soon.
Yeah, April or at the latest May, but I'll stick with the April. I said even earlier on the forum, I think, but
I'm thinking a good bet is probably
fall.
Yeah, the fall season when kids go back to school.
Yeah,
that'll be 1 year after the premiere of season 2.
Yeah. All right, guys. We discussed the images. You can go check them out online. Add your comments to the thing and tweet us or whatever if you have any opinions or thoughts. So we're going to do a quick music interlude. People really liked the music last week, so I'll try to keep that up. And we're going to get in the theme of dedicating each song to somebody in Avatar. And this particular one goes out to Asami.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? We're back from our music interlude of awesomeness. That's what we're going to call it from now on.
I guarantee you next week it won't be called that.
No. So we're back now with a new topic. This one we were meant to do last week, but the podcast was just going on, so we're like, let's move it to next week. We asked after, on the forums, there was kind of like this whole Aang versus Korra type shenanigans going on.
Shenanigans.
And I asked Twitter, let's get this straight, who's a better avatar, or not who's a better avatar, but who's better at, like, Aang or Korra? Like, who is better?
And for all of you on the forum, you already know the answer to our opinion here.
So, but I'm going to try to make it pretty cordial in terms of, like, not ripping.
Cordial?
Yeah.
Ha! Get it?
Yeah.
It's a pun.
That's so fun. Okay, so I asked, and first, the final tally is 3-2.
Who said Korra?
2 people did. One of them, I don't remember the one, but Jackie said Korra. She really likes Aang, but she picked Korra. And 3 people picked Aang, 2 people picked Korra. So, AJ,
yes,
without going into any huge detail or rant, just say Aang or Korra.
Aang or Korra.
Deal or no deal?
No deal.
No deal for Korra or Aang?
The answer is Aang. Aang will always be...
So deal.
Aang.
Deal.
Aang.
Deal.
Anyway, my reasoning behind this...
No, you can't reason yet.
I want a reason.
Just can't yet. Can't yet.
No deal then.
No deal.
I want to say Aang, but
you don't know enough.
I don't know, so maybe I should just say
biased.
Korra.
You don't want to make yourself look bad in front of us. Say Korra.
Say Korra.
Korra.
Her choice is Korra.
Okay, so my choice is Aang, but not because I like Aang that much over Korra. It's just that, because like to be honest, Aang is not even near my top favorite characters for Avatar: The Last Airbender or Korra. So, or the Legend.
I think I like Aang more in Korra than I do Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, I do too. So, yeah, so 2 Aangs, 1 Korra, but Teagan's might change after she watches the complete series.
No.
Okay.
She seems very determined for someone who's watched 5 episodes of the series.
6.
7 or 8 actually.
She's almost halfway through the first season.
Okay, AJ, why would Aang be better to you?
Well,
don't bash Korra, just say the positives to Aang.
Okay, I feel that we have grown more attached to Aang, and we've seen him do more.
Mm-hmm.
Not only is he like this 12-year-old kid that's like a badass, but he's a prodigy. He can do all this cool stuff that we haven't seen Korra do or be able to do, and she's 18 or 19 now, I guess.
Yep.
So, I feel that just in terms of ability, not even character development, Aang is a better character.
Okay. Teagan. Just say why you like Korra.
I think that Korra has had a lot of training. We see that she obviously takes it seriously because she gets frustrated when she can't do things. You know, it's important to her.
Mm-hmm.
She's obviously...
It's a knee slapper, right?
Yeah, shush. She's, helped out a lot of people.
Yeah,
working hard.
A lot of people say the 10,000-year darkness, the whole bringing down the bending.
Yeah.
Equalist regime.
Well, I ask you, what would have happened if Aang had lost the Battle of Ozai?
Yeah, well...
Then what?
Another thing that's
especially
good.
If Aang gets killed against Ozai, Korra gets born into the Water Tribe 70 years early, then she gets murked by Ozai.
7 years.
70.
Okay, 70. It was going to be like, okay.
Korra's actually like a closet 80-year-old.
Yeah. So, Mako.
Stay
far away. Stay far away. Okay, yeah, I say Aang because, his adventure is more interesting to me thus far. His adventure is what tied me into the series. He was the first Avatar I watched. I get people who say Korra that started with Korra before they watched Avatar, because that's, you get attached to the character that you see first. But Aang's adventure to me is better, and I think he's funnier, and I don't get frustrated with him. Because I get frustrated with him, but, overall, his decisions that he makes are good.
Yes, he hasn't had any of those, cringeworthy, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Moments.
I'm actually going to segue this into something more just generally Avatar related, because I think it's easier to discuss and it's less us against them, or it's to do with the fact that there's a lot of people that say that it ruins Korra's story if they bring back past avatars.
No.
Now, this is the reasoning. The story is supposed to be about Korra and her adventure, and if the past avatars come back, that's taking away from her story. Now, I like to argue that the past avatars is Korra. They are her other reincarnations of Korra, thus they are Korra, and they need to be involved some way because it just adds more to the lore. It adds more to the rich history of the Avatar world and Korra herself. They don't need to dominate, but they need to be there for Korra to learn lessons or to teach Korra about herself and other lives. But a lot of people don't like that. Why do you think that it's important, AJ?
Well, I'll relate this back to Avatar: The Last Airbender. The episode Avatar Day was all about Kyoshi. The Kyoshi Warriors episode was about Kyoshi, really. The Avatar and the Fire Lord was all about Roku. What's the other one that we just watched? What was it? The one where he meets Roku at the island.
Oh, yeah.
The name escapes me.
Yeah, I forget it too. But they're the Fire Sage one.
Yeah, that's mostly about Roku.
Yeah.
All of these episodes.
You get the Ko and Kira.
Yeah, you get all the stuff, and it's just good. It's good.
Yeah, it's good.
That helped Aang's story, and I get it. We get 12 episodes instead of 20 in Korra, but there's no reason that they can't.
Honestly, what's crazy about it is that Kira is Aang and is Korra. It's a really, if you take a second to look back at it, it's a crazy thing, and why would you get rid of that? It's so interesting.
Well, that brings to like the thing: are they really them, or is it just Rob's spirit passing on the memories and?
Well, yeah,
whatever.
Well, there's no real definitive answer, so let's just go with that as the. It's just I don't understand that, because it's like you're trying to, in my opinion, you're just trying to chop off any access points to awesome stuff. If it's just solely based about Korra, like obviously it's called The Legend of Korra, just how it's called The Last Airbender, it's about Aang, and if you describe the series to anybody first, you're not going to be like, it's about a bunch of past avatars telling Aang what to do. And when you're explaining Korra to people, you're not going to be like, oh, it's a bunch of people telling Korra what to do. If you're going to say anything about Korra...
It's about a bunch of people telling Korra what to do,
but not,
and then her not doing it.
Yeah. Especially like Tenzin or her father. But it's not about the past avatars. If anybody, you need to get rid of those characters if you don't want anybody to tell Korra what to do. So, I don't know. I didn't... I thought that was an interesting one, Teagan.
I think that even though it's called, like The Legend of Korra, I think that it is about Korra, but as you were saying before, these avatars are a part of Korra. If you're watching solely for the character of Korra, I think it's important to see those past people. And on top of that, I think that most people who watch the show simply aren't watching for Korra, the character. They're watching because they like that universe and they like the bending. Therefore, I think that having these other tales of bending and the history of it is definitely a positive for anyone who's just interested in the universe itself.
At the root of it, Korra is irrelevant. Every other character in the series is irrelevant, because the thing that tied you into the series before, I'd say, yes, the characters, a lot of people like the characters, but the thing that originally tied you in was that you thought the idea of bending was super awesome.
Yeah.
And the world was cool, and that there's a flying bison. Not because Aang is the best character.
Exactly.
The reason I started watching was Appa the Flying Bison.
Yeah. And there, it's like any series. Usually the main character is not one of the most beloved characters. Whether you look at Star Wars, Luke Skywalker, sure. Harry Potter, not even in the top 5 usually. So it's not about... Katniss? Screw
Katniss.
It's not really... It's about Korra, but like
Bella?
there's...
Screw Bella.
Screw Bella. It's all about Edward. No. I think in essence it's about the world, that what... It's like an escape,
Exactly.
So
yeah, I'll relate this to the Tales of Ba Sing Se from season 2. Like, we get one 5-minute segment with Aang, and it's like this dopey, stupid thing that no one cares about. But then you see all these other things with all the other characters. They get their own story. And I like those a lot better than I like Aang's story. Like, especially Iroh's one, which was the one dedicated to his voice actor, which was very good.
Yeah.
It was the one about him remembering his son's death and whatnot.
And the tree and everything.
Yeah.
And the singing, which was interesting.
And then there was the whole one, Appa's Lost Tales.
Yeah. About all the animals, right?
Yeah, no, Appa's Lost Tales was the episode dedicated to what happened to Appa when he got stolen by the Sandbenders.
Oh, right.
It was a whole episode of just Appa.
There's nothing else.
Nothing.
Just Appa.
There was the Kyoshi Warriors there for a bit. There was Azula. We got pictures of our characters we knew, but it was about Appa the Flying Bison.
Nobody really complains about that because they were good.
That was a really good episode.
Yeah, I agree.
I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite, but it's
a solid episode.
It's much better than a lot of other episodes.
What's your least favorite episode?
Least favorite episode?
The first one. Actually, I like the first one.
That's really tough.
I don't even know.
I'll have to get back to you on that one.
Okay. Teagan, how do you feel though about these episodes where there's no character? Do you think it's like WALL-E? You know how there's really no speaking in WALL-E? It's just kind of like a bunch of animation and telling a story. Do you think that's these tales about just Appa in a whole episode?
Oh, I know my least
really
favorites.
Okay. Really just show if people like these and they're fine with it. That's just more merit that they're making a good story.
Yeah, obviously, people don't want that all the time because it's important to have a story and it's important to have character development. But I think once in a while, I think it's definitely good to show something else. Or because it's just another peek into more of this universe that everyone loves.
So the story can even be better, like the main story.
Yeah, exactly.
It always adds to the main story.
I'll give another example from the first series. Zuko Alone. That's Zuko's story.
Yeah, yeah.
And going back, my least favorite episode in the whole of the Avatar universe is the Ember Island Players. The fifth last episode in the series.
Yeah, you don't like that one?
No, it's freaking stupid.
Why?
Because it's one where they recap everything that's happened in the stupid play.
Yeah.
And the only thing that happens is Aang and Katara kiss at the end, and then...
Yeah, I don't like that episode either. That wasn't a good episode. Well, you've watched Korra. What's your favorite, or least favorite episode of Korra?
That's...
It's a tough one.
Because I watched them all at once, right? So I don't have, specific episodes.
I'd say probably something in the second, or the first half of season 2.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't like the one where Korra got, put in jail or something, or, captured somehow.
By Amon, or by Tarlok?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I can't remember.
I'm not as familiar with the names.
Yeah, I can't remember when that episode ended and when the next one started. But I don't know. I just didn't like that.
I didn't like the first half of book 2, like a lot of people. I thought it was boring and linear, and I didn't like a lot of those episodes because it was just kind of boring. But the Ember Island Players, that's a no-go. Needed a Kleenex. But yeah, okay, so AJ, in the end, Aang, Korra, do you think it's possible for Korra to ever reach Aang level or above it?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's always potential. There's 2 more seasons.
Right.
But it's going to be tough.
Mm-hmm. I think it's possible, though.
I ask you the question, who's the best Avatar? We know Kurik, we know Yang Chen,
Kyoshi,
Roku, Aang, Korra, and unnamed fire avatar.
And a bunch of other unnamed.
And all those other...
I'm quite partial to Roku, but I don't think he's the best Avatar. He led through a large period of peacetime, which is a big achievement in itself. But I think, honestly, the most achieved Avatar, and the one that did the most for a lot of people, was Kyoshi.
Mm-hmm. I would agree that Kyoshi... in my ranking is Kyoshi, Aang, Roku, Korra, Kurik.
Yeah, mine's Kyoshi, and you forgot Yang Chen.
Yang Chen. She can be behind Kurik.
Really?
Oh, I don't know what Yang Chen did. All we've seen is that she blows wind around.
Okay. I'd go Kyoshi, Aang, Roku, Korra, Yang Chen, Kurik. Actually, I don't know. Kurik did do stuff with Ko.
But he failed like a...
Yeah, he did.
Like Juan.
What about Juan?
Juan?
Can't forget about
him. I was just going to say, what about him?
Juan number 2.
No, Juan, Kyoshi, Aang, Roku, Korra, Kurik.
Oh, so you think Juan's number 1?
Well,
I think
just
so
because
too.
he
started it.
Yeah, and he was the first to bridge the gap between everything.
And Korra just screwed up everything that he did, so...
Well, but at the same time, if she redeems herself, could that be even better and fix the problem even more?
Well, there wouldn't be a problem if she didn't start it.
Well, there was a problem.
Same thing would happen to Juan, I guess.
There was a problem, yeah.
Kind of started the problem, but...
Yeah.
Rava could have lost that battle and, taken down. There would have been 10,000 Years of Darkness instead of...
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay. Teagan, how about you? You don't know all the avatars, but of the ones you know, you rank them number 1?
Yeah. See, it's tough because I don't know really the extent of what Aang has done. Yeah. But I like Juan,
Number 1? Okay.
He started it all.
Cool beans. Okay.
Cool beans.
Beans. Like magic beanstalk, AJ. Do you have anything else to say about this, AJ?
I say... I'm going to give Korra a chance.
Yeah, I'm too.
And she...
You heard it here first, everybody.
I really hope that she can surpass Aang as one of the best avatars that we know of.
I do too. Teagan.
Yeah, I mean...
She's lying. She hates Korra.
Shush.
Bash her.
Stop.
Her name is Teagan _126 on Twitter.
No.
Send her hate mail.
No, but as you said, there's 2 seasons. There's still so much time.
Yeah. Okay. Give us your ranking. Give us your ranking of avatars.
Yeah.
From 1 to 6. I think that's the right 6 or 7.
6 of the ones we know of.
Yeah, 6 of the ones we know of.
1, Kyoshi, Aang, Roku, Korra, Kyangchan. 7.
7. So rank the 7. I want to see what you guys think. And if you really want to give us an opinion on each and why, then you can do that. You can go over to the forum, and then on the discussion part of this episode, you can leave your comment.
Yeah.
So that's it. We're going to go into a quick music interlude, and we'll come back.
And wipe my tears away. Oh, you, don't you forget me if I am losing you. Oh, you, the wind is blowing. I wanna fly too. Will you follow me to the end of the sea? Will you follow me to the end of the sea? Oh love, don't be afraid now. I'm jumping into the sea. Oh love, will you forgive me? Will you believe in me? Will you follow me to the end of the sea?
Welcome back after that beautiful music break. Here's Tyrell Lisson to give you some contact information.
Thanks, AJ, with the spontaneously interesting, quiet, but not that quiet, whatever it was, introduction.
Does this make you uncomfortable?
You better.
Ew.
It's making me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So, contact information. If you want to come and say hi, you can go over to castbender.ca and you can find all the information there if I go through it a bit quickly or you don't have a pen to write it down. Who writes anything down?
Or you could just go back and let's do it again.
Yeah, or you could go back and let's do it again. But if you want to check out Kevil's website, the blog, you can do that. There's a blog tab, Avatar, thelegendofkorraonline.com. There's a tab for all past episodes that you can listen to, and we might start uploading an old episode that's no longer available every month now, and we'll do that over the course. There's like 50 episodes. The About page, if you want to know more about the staff, the FAQ, if you have any questions about downloading, etc., if you don't understand it, there's a contact page that you can contact us directly from our website or email at castbender@live.com, and our schedule from when we release video content. If you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can and might be listening to this podcast right now, youtube.com/castbenderpodcast. If you want to come and talk to us on Twitter where we are the most, it's twitter.com/castbender. If you're really interested in donating to the show, there's a donate tab on our website, or it's castbender.ca/donate. .html, and there's one-time donations, and there's perks for that, or there's a monthly donation portion. And if you want to go like our Facebook, it's facebook.com/castbenderpodcast, or just castbender, either or. You can just search it in the bar at the top and you'll find it. And iTunes, please go and subscribe via iTunes and give us a review. Even if you don't subscribe, go and give us a 1 out of 5 star and leave a review. We want to move up the ranks in terms of where we sit on there. Or I will beat you with the dead Pabu. So, without further ado, thank you for listening to episode 61 of Castbender for the week of February 4th. Valentine's Day is coming, AJ's favorite holiday of the year, everybody.
I will burn you all.
So, we'll see you next week. See you, everybody.